Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, we got a special $5 order because the fine folks at the 17th most popular project in all games right now, Crown of Ash, wanted me to check out Crown of Ash, which is a game of warring necromancers for 1 to 4 players, combining worker placement and area ... control, presumably. So first thing I see is I can't make this out. I think it's 60 to 120. I might bump that up a little bit. I see the 1 to 4, but honestly, I might just see the 1 to 4 because you put it right here. But I do like the fact that that's spotlighted here. Other than that, maybe zoom in on something here. I know you're trying to show the full game setup, which is nice, but I can barely make out anything on the box. It just looks like a big shot of colors right there. So I would zoom in on something, and I'm sure once we get to the main image, it's going to be a different story. Likewise, like the art right here, I can see it, but it's kind of blurry, just because I'm sure it's going to look way better when we get to this one right here, which in fact it does. This has already been funded twice over. Fantastic. It has raised $24,000, 360 backers. I look at the main image and say it looks like a game. I don't know if components really is the thing to spotlight here, because nothing, like maybe you lean more into the artwork, I don't know, but it looks like a very normal game setup on the board. Worker placement, area control to contest players' resolve. I don't know what that means, but as always when you go in the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? And I love worker placement, area control. Let's go.
As the ashes of the First Great War still fell from the sky.
Love the subtitles, and actually, I have never seen that logo. Kagan Production. So I'm assuming that's who they got to make their Kickstarter video.
Great War still fell from the sky. The bitter king prepared his last treachery.
Theme.
His lords, torn apart by his envious schemes, were poisoned. But unbeknownst to the king, his poison gave them dark powers. The hordes of soldiers that fought and died in the First War are awakening, ready to once again serve their lords' dark dreams of conquest. The king's reign is coming to an end, but who will then claim the Crown of Ash?
So if artwork is the thing here that you really want to focus on, because honestly that first 30 seconds, I have not seen any gameplay, I've not seen anything except from, here's the story, you're a necromancer, you raise up some dead people, and now you're going to fight. So I'd maybe focus more on the artwork on the main image, if that's what you're really hoping to focus on. But the first 30 seconds, that like it's just, okay, here's the theme. But now we get to the milk and potatoes. That's not an expression.
In Crown of Ash, 1 to 4
meat and potatoes.
4 necromantic overlords vie for control over the war-scarred landscape of a fallen kingdom. Send your trusted minions to gather resources and rebuild ancient strongholds as you employ wicked alchemy to raise long-dead troops to fight again, pitting them against your rival.
So here's the thing. You are leaning so heavily into the theme here, and it looks very mechanical. Like, it doesn't look like it's a highly thematic game. It looks like it's a very mechanical game, a language-independent style game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it feels like you're telling me you're something, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know. So here's my question. This is what I really want to see spotlighted here. What's different about this game? I have not seen that yet.
Rival lords in the bitter struggle for the crown.
So you make these with the cubes that you're acquiring from the worker placement. Now, what am I going to do with these cards? Is it just victory points, or is this something big? I assume these are going to be the people I'm going to fight with. Is this the second aspect of this game? I'm excited. Let's go.
It requires power to take the throne, but wit and guile to keep it.
Was that combat? I don't even know what that was. Let's check this out.
Keep it.
And once again, I'm going to look at this one a little bit differently than I do most of my Kickstarter critiques, because they're paying me right now to really do an in-depth breakdown. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. I think this is combat. So they have 3, they have 5, they have this thing and that thing. 4, no, they have 4 and 6. Got it.
Surprise the opponent on the battlefield.
Oh, this is the area control. Okay, so you're putting your cards out onto the board.
Remember that it might take losing a battle to win the war. Every move will bring you closer to victory, but it takes decisiveness to claim the kingdom before time runs out. Will you claim the crown of ash.
So you want to be in first when the game ends. Or on that high position. And that was just, that right there felt like about 6 seconds of look at our gorgeous components. Like we're making a deluxeified style game, or what used to be known as a deluxeified style game. You're going to get the custom meeples, you get the cardboard pop-outs, they're all different. Inlaid board, nice wooden tokens, like look how zoomed in we are, we can see the little grain. That's what they're doing here, okay. If you really look closely, you can even see like the little bit on the board where like when you run your fingers across it, it makes that like scratching sound that everybody likes. Or maybe that's just me. Okay, and a box. Card Noir. Is that the company? After the video, do I want it? I mean, it does, like, it looks fun, but I don't see anything there where I'm like, man, I gotta get this. Because here's the couple things. Only going up to 4 players means you got your very competitive player count there, 1 to 4 players. You do have the solo, though, and hopefully you give me a lot of details on how the solo mode works. Hopefully a gameplay video down here in the solo mode would be nice. After the video, do I want it? Can you do it? Not sure. Very good looking video, though. Like, it looked professionally done. It doesn't look like a dog and pony show. And then how much is it? Hopefully we don't beat around the bush when we get to the price. So, Card Noir, first created, 39 backed. We are Card Noir, a London-based game publisher with a passion for gaming. We create games with strong themes and unique art styles. We're a proudly small but mighty company made up of only 1 full-time member and a handful of helpers. But just because we are a few in numbers, we aren't short on talent. We are experts from print design and branding backgrounds with the tabletop gaming in common. Our founder, Richard Lawton, has worked as a professional graphic designer at some of London's most prestigious studios and has won multiple awards for including D&DAD and DBA awards, basically the top awards in the fields. He has previously had humble Kickstarter success with Kitchen Taro, a set kawaii kitchen towels, both cute and evil and equal what? Huh? Like, this is, what? Yes, Keegan has done a number of Kickstarter videos. That one looked very nice. I didn't like all the theme at the beginning, but that one looked like a very nice video. So what is this? This is okay. Twisted Japanese-inspired tea towels. So this was just Richard. This was not this was not the company itself. Okay, so can you do it? Maybe they've done tea towels. Okay, that's just such an odd one. All right, Meeple on board, Richard Lauder and Dinah Ramza, whatever that was. So we got 3 people in there, so we should have some good customer service. Crown of Ash, can you do it? I mean, I don't know. I guess I should check that to make sure people got their stuff, right? Hate that. New project launched. Completely unrelated. Thanks a lot. I like them. Most important for me, my loves them. Receive my towels. They are perfect. Nice to do a Kickstarter and get the project expected. These really are awesome. So they can do. That's such. Okay, cool. Become the ultimate influence. Send out your loyal minions. Gain alchemical ingredients. Raise an army of monsters. I got it. Theme. 6120. So we're medium to medium weight. Nice. $45. 54. That's great. That's a great price. Honestly, going back to that main image. You want to spotlight something? I don't think $54 is a bad one to spotlight. That's what I expect to pay for a Kickstarter board game 7 years ago. And that's a good feeling. Okay, and then we have the deluxe pledge, of course. Custom dice, 5 metal round tokens, screen printed cotton player packs. Love this pledge level section. Love it. It's early. We hit me with vital information here, and then we get to these pledge levels here. Then we have the all-in pledge, which of course comes with what is this? Rising Fighters module. 37 fighter standees. Oh, so instead of cards. So this is the game, slightly deluxed, and then super deluxed. And it's, so it's 78. Okay. So this one, and here's the thing I like about this deluxe version. None of this is stuff that I have to have gameplay-wise. I can still get everything at the $54 pledge level and feel good about myself. And that's something that I do worry about here, because, that's how a lot of Kickstarters make a lot of money, is by having the deluxeified pledges that have stuff that you're really going to want. And this stuff is nice, but it's like, So let's check it out. I'm excited to check out the pledge level. 62 people sitting on the fence. Interesting. So we got that 72 backers, 99, and then 117. So Bowers Law still in play. The most popular pledge level is always going to be the one with all the bells and all the whistles, but this one's close. And then we have the Crown of Ash Founders Pledge. This is a $600 one. It's gone, though. But what was it? Be one of the first to receive one of your very limited prototype copies of the game. Oh, that's still there. Like, these ones are always so weird to me. Like, but 2 people took it. And a lot of the times, those are people that are close to you to just want to see you succeed. Next stretch goal, more goals further down the page. That's a banger of a stretch goal. Screen printed meeple, because the meeples already look nice. So you're hitting me with a rock solid price, $54. I would like to see the shipping. I'm sure we'll get there. It'd be nice if we got there already. But Kickstarter standard does not agree. The industry standard does not agree. They like to put it down at the bottom, make you go search for it. Why? Why? It's vital information. This is a special game. It's only March right now, and I feel like this is going to be one of my favorite games of the year. Wow, thank you for telling me absolutely nothing about the game except for that you like it. Like, that's not a good quote. Like, it's got great information, but why not add something else here that why they loved the game? Were they playing it solo? Were they playing it 2 players? Were they playing it 4 players? You know, because once again, if they're like, I played it so completely solo and it's one of my favorites, that really means a lot to a lot of a niche of people. You know, and I'm one of them. You know, I love the fact that I can learn a solo game and then come into game night and know how to play it. Overview. Crown of Ash is a game of warring necromancers for 1 to 4 player. Pick your lord stuff. I just want the video. It's all good. I'd love it after the video, though. I really love the way they do the combat in the game. Okay? So there's like, gameplay, gather resources. This is all great stuff to have. I just don't think it's above a video. Read the rule booklet. Here we go. Full playthrough. Beautiful. Awesome. Hour 24. It's there. You can totally watch this and see if this is your cup of tea. Rule booklet, great there. Backstory, not how I like to start ever. Which component setups, please? There we go. Component setup. Whoa, look at that. That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. All is forgiven. Look at that. And I love how this is just one big page. You're not flipping back. That looks good. That, like, this start of this rule booklet makes me feel good. I will say that. Love that. Gameplay overview, how to win, resources, fighters, structures. Where's the... Okay. Combat cards, end around, in-game scoring. So it looks like where they just kind of threw it all in there. All right, but they got lots of pictures. On a picture, they can do this, that, the other thing. They got lots of examples. So I'm feeling good about that rule booklet. Full playthrough. This is a game that has been lovingly crafted and fine-tuned to blah. Like these quotes. Not doing it, I don't feel like. Preview, whatever. Preview, Game of the Year contender. That one I actually do want to watch. Just because they're throwing that Game of the Year contender. That's a big deal. Like that one gets me excited. And I don't know why that gets me excited and the quote doesn't. That's weird to me. That is weird. I think because with the video, I can hear exactly why they thought it was a Game of the Year. But with the quote, it's just such a close-ended thing. And I've just been burned by so many quotes in the past, too. I think that might be it. I don't know. Asymmetric power. Wow. That's great. I feel like that should have been mentioned in the video. Because that's one thing that I noticed. You spotlighted the 4 boards. And the 4 boards look really similar. And I was like, okay, well, they don't look asymmetric. Because if they did look asymmetric, I would mention it. I'd be excited. And honestly... I feel like asymmetric is something that could potentially be squeezed. Like, Crown of Ash is a game of. Like, is that necessary? Become a warring necromancer for 1 to 4. Like, I feel like asymmetric it is better than the redundancy here. I would mention that. For advanced gameplay options, we are bringing individual thematic powers to each of the lords to add additional strategic... So I feel like this is just like a nothing burger to them. Like, oh yeah, by the way, we'll throw this little blurb down here after the video dump, after the pledges. No, that's really big. That immediately means I'm probably going to want to try the game and all the different players. The game is phenomenal, without a doubt, a game of 2023 in my mind. Don't. Solo mode. Challenge the Crown of Ash AI designed to push your necromancy skills to the test. Nice. Ugh. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Right there. All I need. Solo gameplay, full gameplay, rule booklet. They have everything you need here. $54. Very appealing price point. It's cruising towards a good grade here. First 30 seconds of the video with all that theme. I don't know about that. I'm leaning so hard into the theme, especially when it doesn't feel like a thematic game at all. Like, it just doesn't. I hate to be that guy, but it doesn't. 1 English rule booklet, 4 double-layered player mats, 4 references. I hope I'm wrong. Ooh, look at those reference cards. Those are beautiful. Like how they spotlighted the fact they're double-sided. That's nice. Double-sided game board, turn tracker, 5 turn tokens. Howdy, Huckleberry. 20 combat cards, 60. And here's the thing. You're not really up against the gun on this price at all. Because 50, that's 60. Like, this is a $60 game. And we haven't got to shipping once again because it's buried all the way at the bottom. I would honestly put this with those prices up there, I think. But I didn't think your pledge level was bad either. Double-sided game board included with all pledge levels. Wow. Is that just for different player counts? That does get me excited. That adds to the value of the game in my mind drastically, too. I'd also like to know the dimensions of this board. Oh, apologies. Sinuses. Crown of Ash is built on a few tried and tested concepts. It delivers on all of them. What? Wow, only $45. It's euros, but I think it's 54. But still, yeah, 56. Like, that's a great price. That's a $60 MSRP. And here's the other thing too. They're not up against the gun of being like, oh, I'll just wait to pick it up at retail. You know, AEG, company like that, Queen Games, they're up against that gun. This, which very well may only have 1 print run ever, and I hope that's not the case, but most Kickstarter games are that case. You know, you're paying a reasonable price, assuming the shipping is not terrible. Now, they are from out of the United States, or outside of the United States, which means the shipping is something I really wish we'd already gotten to. Because we're just beating our bush getting to the shipping. A solid, which makes me think it's going to be not a great price. Is this a dungeon crawl? No, it's a worker placement area control game about, you know, turning cubes into cards and stuff. A solid, engaging area control game that blends multiple game mechanics smoothly into a great experience, full of conflict and engagement, easy to learn, but has plenty of depth to discover. Now, there is the best quote of the bunch, in my opinion. Like, I feel like I learned more about that than it's freaking fantastic. Upgrade cubes to custom shapes. Wow. So, and this is why I don't like what they did there. So, one thing I'm a big proponent of is stretch goals to the very top, especially once you're funded and you're actually starting to hit stretch goals. Because when you launch a Kickstarter, the goal is to get funded, correct? But once you hit your funded goal, what is the goal? The goal is now 100% your stretch goals. That's what your audience wants. That's what anyone backing your game wants. So why bury them down at the bottom? Now, I will say I do think it's better at least saying, hey, here's the most recent stretch goal, and then not having the stretch goal, mentioning it at all at top. But I'd put it up higher, personally, especially since these are bangers. Those are nice custom shapes, and they definitely add even more value to this game in my mind, which wasn't something you were up against. How much is it, honestly, is your strongest forte here? I think and then we got 4 automaton fighters. Woo, that's nice. And you get standees if you got the fancy pledge. You got this if you get the other pledge. So that's great. And then the screen paper. And these are really nice stretch goals. I would put these higher. Next goal to be announced, maybe wet my whistle. That'd be nice, but it's not the end of the world. Colorblind friendly to over 99% of the population. Cool, good stuff. There's a picture of the box. Who is the designer? I am Richard, the designer of Crown of Ash and founder of Card Noir. Originally from Norwich, England, I've been inadvertently designing and house ruling games since I was a kid, but it wasn't until age 8 years old with my girlfriend Natalie introduced me to a modern board games. Oh, I was going to say 8-year-old girlfriend. No, about 8 years ago. Okay, when I was 8 years old. I was going to say, dang, I've been a professional graphic designer for 12 years. Stuff things. Shipping, here we go. So, converting the currency, and now I'm up to $67. It's not great shipping. It's not terrible shipping. And in and out the door, $67. That's what, in my mind, seems reasonable. Because here's the bottom line. You go buy this regular, you're thinking, what, $60 MSRP, sales tax or whatnot. So, 67, I don't have an issue with that price at all. I think that's a great price. 67 in and out the door. To UK, US, Europe, that's great shipping. Why is it buried? Like, I feel like this, because that's going to be the overwhelming majority of your people here. United States, United Kingdom, yeah, that's 200 out of 361. That is more than 50%. Canada is coming in 32 there. So I feel like this should be way higher. I would put it right after those prices, because honestly, if I know that the grand total for me to roll the dice on this game, because I know nothing about this game aside from the person has made towels before, is $67 when I'm used to going over to GameFound yesterday and it's like, yeah, $240 for the all-in, 150 here, 300 there. Like, this looks like it should be a very easy and palatable price for people. I don't know why we wait so long to get to the shipping. I think we pull that Band-Aid off completely. I know I'm going to pay $67. Maybe you hit me with the stretch goals beforehand to get me even more excited about that as well. But I feel like both the stretch goals and the shipping are way too low. And then quartermaster logistics. I love this. Now this makes me want the shipping even higher, even more. Because yes, you're showing me the Asian shipping. You're showing me, and I'm sure Spiral Galaxy games probably mean something to other people somewhere in the world. So yeah, I feel like that's a great shipping section, just way too low. Timeline previews. We got a second video dump. Cool stuff. Mob Vanguard things. Wow. Localized in all these different languages. Here's the other thing. I would honestly put this higher too. Little things like this definitely go a long way on the can you do it aspect. If I'm like, oh, they already have publishers lined up in Germany and China for that. Like, that's a big deal. That's not what 90% of first-time Kickstarters do. That makes me say, wow, they really have a lot of ducks in a row here. I'm impressed. Take the crown, risk and challenges, stuff, things. All right, FAQ. Ooh, they did the flag thing. So this, I do believe, is my new favorite way to see people do their FAQ. So questions about the game, boom. Questions about the components, in here. Questions about the pledge manager, boom. Ship it. Like, this is great. This is what I think, and I saw this a couple weeks ago in another Kickstarter critique I did for Hellbringer, and so they took that, instead of getting the flags, they have these. I like the flags better personally. It just gives me a used car lot feel, but either way, I still feel like the organization here is great. Will there be extra measure play? Yes, we've been testing some ideas for player powers for a while. Yeah, that shouldn't be an FAQ thing. That's the kind of thing you should be pounding your chest about, in my personal opinion. Just undoubtedly. I knew you'd like the FAQ. It's so easy to navigate. Who cannot like it? My question is not about the game. My question is about shipping. Boom, I go right down here and I'm there. Love it. Chef's kiss. Updates. Stretch goals unlocked. I'm absolutely blown away by the support. So we got 9 comments here, 3 comments there. So most likely this is just people excited for the game. Congrats. Depending on how the campaign develops further, have you thought about the acrylic standees for the expansion yet? It's asking a lot. Wait, there's an expansion? Thank you. It's cool. Oh, that's for the that's when you get the standees. Never mind. That's cool. You haven't thought about it, so no, but it's definitely worth me asking my manufacturer to see if it's a possibility. Yeah, absolutely. Because the thing is, you add that pledge level, and that becomes a popular pledge level. And then at that point, it's really weird. So here's the thing. Typically, I'd say you don't want to add an extra pledge level, but that one just feels like, yet again, another extension of what it should be, because that would mean we have 4 pledge levels: the regular version, the slightly deluxified version, the kind of slightly deluxified version, and then the super deluxified version. Like, we're not going to put out any more. But the reason being is that Kickstarter backers wanted it, so you took the time and effort to talk to your manufacturer and look into it. It makes you look good. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, potentially, obviously, I don't know. Too bad you can't run a poll like you can on GameFound to see garner the kind of interest in it. You're welcome. Nemesis Games did that with their game Uprising. The standees really cranked up the quality and table presence of the game too. Also, if you did go with the standees and you could get a good picture of that I think could really spice up that main image. Because I go back to that main image where I don't feel like we're focusing in on anything. It just looks like a very generic game. You know, I know you're spotlighting the art here, but nothing about what you're showing me here screams, oh my gosh, this is a thematic game. So I think we've all that 15K mini expansion before that is done, almost to the cube stretch goal already. Yeah, and they got some pretty good stretch goals there. All right, comments. So I do want to check out the most recent update. Let's see what that is, because I always see how we're engaging people. I'm absolutely blown away by the support the campaign has had. Not only have we funded on the first day, but we also have hit our first 2 stretch goals. I can't thank you all enough. The cube's one of the main components I dreamed about upgrading. Yeah, I would put that so much higher. And maybe it was added to the pledge area. I want to go check that real quick, because that's the kind of thing that really, because here's the thing, if you can convince me at the $54 pledge level that I should back you and that it's a good price, that means my likelihood of bumping up to the 60 or the 80 euro ones, I feel like is way higher. So yeah, I don't feel like you mentioned that anywhere. I feel like that, and that's why I think the stretch goals would be so much higher, because look, is it mentioned here? It's not, and I know that's a lot of work to add that specifically to this image, but that would make, and then, so like a thing at the bottom where it's like Kickstarter unlocks stuff for every, version. It's like we now have these badass wooden meeple things with the different shapes on them, but instead it's just buried all the way down here. And if you look at it, this is like in the lower 30 to 40% of your Kickstarter page, and I feel like it's better than that. It's just more useful information. Indie creator shout out. So hey, another thing, make that clickable. I imagine it probably was, and they didn't do the thing. Yes, thank you so much for the shout out. Our indie community is fantastic. Okay, you scratch my back, you scratch yours. So here's the thing. Ask your people. Ask your people. So this doesn't look like a very engaging update. And you probably in your head are saying, man, that acrylic idea, I really like that acrylic idea. Ask your 362 people. Pie in the sky, we're hoping to blow through stretch goals. We've got a couple things in mind. But if any of you have a fantastic thing, we have a great relationship with our manufacturer, and we'd love to look into it for it. So let us know in the comments below, what would you love to, what would be your dream next stretch goal? And then you can take some of those ideas, not to mention it provides engagement, and it gets your backers even more excited, especially if you follow up on any of those. Following this project, because there's the thing, you haven't revealed your next stretch goal, and because you haven't revealed your next stretch goal, you can ask people what they want, and if they happen to just bingo hit on what you're going to give them, that makes you look even better. Or if it's just free ideas, I would ask them 100% in the next update. Following this project since seeing a feature in Senate Magazine, excited that it's finally launched, and glad to see it funded quickly. Game is absolutely gorgeous. So they're in here, they're doing good customer service, great. Final grade for Crown of Ash. Do I want it? Yeah, it looks fun. I don't feel particularly compelled by the gameplay or what I saw, but it looks like a very reasonable price. I'm excited to know more about the asymmetric abilities, and the bottom line is I could watch the videos that you have, both solo and multiplayer. I could read the rule booklet, which is completely there in all of its really polished looking thing. So can you do it? Yeah. Do I want it? I feel like it got me there. I still feel like the video didn't do the best job to me. I feel like it would have been better just to focus a little bit more on the mechanisms. But do I want it? Yeah. Can you do it? First time designer, you made towels before, but so many ducks in a row here. Just like crazy amounts of ducks in a row. It makes me feel like there's somebody who's helping them, that it's just like, you should do this, this, and this, and it's great, because think about it, mentioning quartermaster logistics, mentioning where you're shipping through in China, mentioning that you're going to be bringing this out in different countries, and you already have the companies that are going to be putting those games out there. You have a plethora of videos working with content creators already. Like, there's so much stuff, so many ducks you have in a row here, that can you do it? It looks good to me. Do I want it? Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's not the most overwhelming yet. Can you do it? Yeah, I feel good despite the fact first-time creator. How much is it? Price is really where we hit the home run here, and I feel like we don't spotlight it enough. I feel like that is marquee-worthy. $54, because once again, majority of the people going to be from the United States of America. Yep. And then $67 out the door, whatever that equivalent is to the UK. I feel like those are both great prices to spotlight, and I feel like that would, because that's the main thing. The main image just is not that engaging to me. It just tries to focus on too much, and some of the stuff it's trying to focus on really aren't that amazing to me. And final grade. Overall, I feel like very solid. I feel like we're in the B range here. It's got the gameplay videos, got the rule booklets. That's great. I'm going to go with a solid B. End of the day, Crown of Ash. I'm giving it a B. Let me know in the comments below what is your final grade for this one. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below, as I'm trying to reach 17,000 subscribers in 2023 to make it my biggest year ever. And if you'd be interested in having a Kickstarter critique done like I just did for Crown of Ash, then check out the Fiverr link down below. It's advertising, and it's also potentially insightful, at least according to the reviews. But you can check that out down the link below. Bye-bye.